Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today we're going to be making a Frontline Spellcaster for Final Fantasy Tactics. Now, this build technically can work with any job that has a high MA magical attack stat. So Summoner, Black Mage, hell even Time Mage, White Mage, it works for all those. We've already done kind of an iteration on this for our solo challenge with the Black Mage, but today we're going to be focusing on the Summoner because honestly, I haven't really shown the Summoner much love lately, and I feel like it definitely deserves it. This is one of the best jobs in the game, period. But how do you get to the Summoner? Well, it's actually really easy. You can see the job tree here. You should have Summoner available to you either at the end of Chapter 1 if you focus on it, or somewhere just in like Chapter 2. But this build really doesn't get up and running, I would say, until Chapter 3, Chapter 4. So kind of a later game build. Prior to, I would say, that Chapter 3 and 4 point, I would just build your Summoner here as just like a normal Spellcaster that you want to keep at range. But what we're going to be shooting for from the Summoner spells here, you want something like Moogle for healing, and then maybe one of the lower tier summons here just to get you by. Shiva, Ifrit, Ramuh, Titan, those all work really well. Golem here is the real staple out of Summoner that I like because this is going to make us even tankier, or it's going to give us some wiggle room while we're in the front line if things don't go our way as far as survivability. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second here. So that's what we're going to be shooting for from Summoner, but what are we going to be pairing this with? Very obvious, in my opinion. If we're making a Battlemage, we need to go with the Eido abilities from the Samurai. They were called Draw Out in the original version with the PS1, but these Samurai abilities, a lot of them are just like AoEs around the Spellcaster. Some of them do like a line attack as well, but so this is mainly going to keep us in the front line. But with the Samurai abilities here, they all scale off your magical attack, which is why you can pair it with a Summoner or a Black Mage, and it's even better than if you were on like the Samurai job itself. Makes Samurai kind of a weird job because they are physical attack based for the most part as far as their stat growth. But Masamune here, this is an excellent katana, but you're not going to be having a lot of these until, I would say, Chapter 4, the late game. I wouldn't be really worrying about that too much, but Muramasa here is a great heal. And then you have Kiyomori here with that Protect and Shell. Muramasa is probably going to be what you're using the most of, but keep in mind with these Samurai abilities, they rely on having access to those katanas. This is why I said mainly a later game build, because you don't get access to buying katanas until Chapter 3, Chapter 4 is when these other later ones open up. So that's why I wouldn't really be gunning for this like right off the bat if you're starting like a new like playthrough. But okay, that's our secondary job out of the way. So now what are we going to slot into our reaction ability? Well, we're going to get Reflex from Ninja, which means, yeah, that's a pretty big, I would say, jump as far as the job tree, because over here on Summoner, once we have that squared away, we got to go all the way over here on Ninja. So this is, again, that's why I say this is more of a late game build, because a job tree switch like this, it does take a little time. You are going to have some job points just because of the spillover effect, because of your other characters, that this won't be super painful, but you're still going to have to do a little legwork. And luckily, as well as on that same path for Ninja, you would have to be Knight for a little bit. And with Knight, you want to make sure you pick up Equipped Shield. Shields plus Reflex will save your ass against so many attacks in this game, both physical and magical. Shields themselves, a lot of them, or the later ones, have absorbing properties. So the Flame Shield, Ice Magic is going to be halved, and then Fire damage you will just absorb. Now take note that some shields, or I guess shields, don't cover you against Knight Swords from like the Knights Templar. That can be a real pain in the ass. Wygriff, when he uses Hallowed Bolt, that is holy damage. We do have a way to mitigate holy damage. If we go into our robes here and we use the chameleon robes, you can see that they actually absorb holy. That is a way to get around the Wygriff fight if your Ramza here is going to be the Battlemage. But let's get back to the build real quick. Chameleon robes, really good. The robes in general, you really should be checking out all their effects as far as what they boost, what they absorb, etc. You can make some pretty crazy things as far as survivability. Now for your movement slot, last slot here, if you're on a female character, you're not going to get access to movement +3. Male characters, yeah, you'll have movement +3. That's your best bet there. So I would just take your best movement ability. If there's a lot of height in a fight, obviously teleport would be the way to go, but usually I would say on level playing fields, movement +2, just kind of the way to go. But that is the build out of the way as far as our abilities. Now for our equipment here, we really just want to take something that's going to be bumping up our attack power. I had the Zeus mace here. That's going to bump up our attack power by, was it 1 right there? I don't think we have anything that's going to be any better, except for the Wizard's Rod. The funny thing is, the Wizard's Rod here, you get this super early on, and it's kind of just one of those rods that are like, this is always just kind of good. Now let's move on to talking about a little bit about shields, because shields are excellent in this game. They have that parry, physical parry stat right up there on the right hand side, but eventually the later game shields, they'll also have a magic parry as well. Now that magic parry won't work against something like summons. Summons from summoners are extremely deadly in a lot of instances, but normal spells from like the other spellcasters, that is what's going to affect that. And they're basically enemies using any magic on you while you have a shield with any sort of magical parry plus reflex. They're going to have a hard time landing those spells on you. So just the crystal shield, amazing. That's just from the outfitters, the shops. If you get something like the Escutcheon 2 here, again, they're not going to be able to hit you. We'll just take the crystal shield. We are going to do a gameplay section, so we are doing a little bit of a load build out here, but just with this here, we're very tanky, and even if an attack goes through those parry numbers there, they're not, those parry numbers, by the way, they're not taking into effect reflex right now. I wish it would. That would be kind of cool as far as what you could see reflex was actually doing, but even if a attack gets through the parry mechanic, this is why I mentioned why Golem is so good, because we will have a little wiggle room as far as our health. Right now at level 99, we only have 236 health. That's not a lot. With Golem, on the other hand, it is going to help us out with survivability. But that's enough yapping. Let's put on some just more basic gear and let's go into a fight. And this is actually a very solo friendly build. So we're the flatlands right now, and it's actually not that flat of flatlands, but look at what we're going up against. We're actually going against like a full humanoid party. I think this is actually going to work out pretty well for us. Just quickly looking at what I filled out our Battlemage with. White robes, a featherweave cloak, also going to help out with, we're also going to synergize with reflexes. Again, we're going to be really hard to hit. So you can see the loadout there. Nothing crazy, especially here at level 99. But let's get into this fight. I'm actually excited about this one because anytime you have like a humanoid party that you're going up against, because after the story, you really don't go up against any more like humanoids very often. And so now when you see them out in the random like battlefield, especially a full party here, get a little excited, a little nostalgic, especially again, level 90 here. Let's see what these guys can really do. They're going to haste themselves. That's something I could have done. I could have given myself one of the perfumes that give us haste, but we also have all of our katana abilities here. And God, dude, please don't let this one break. You know what we'll do instead? Start off with Golem. And Golem is a very quick cast, by the way, so we don't need to take something like Swift Spell. Now we got Golem on us. That's basically all we want to do from Summoner. Unless the situation arises where we don't want to get into melee range, then using a spell obviously would make sense. Or one of our summons, I should say. And other than that, I don't think we really need to do too much. We could, okay, you know what, we can't. We'll go full build here, and we will give ourselves regen and haste. Please don't break. Please don't break. Fudge. I do this for you guys. Actually, could just reload. But it does stink to see that katana break. They're gonna haste themselves. That's perfectly fine. I don't even think they're gonna want to attack. Let's see here. What are you gonna do? Thundaga, 28% chance, and it does a chunky bit of damage. Let's get in there, and I think the major katana that you're gonna be using all the time is Muramasa here. Let's just see how much damage we're outputting here. Ah, man, that's good. Imagine if, again, we get into like the middle of them all and then we do that. That is just a crazy amount of AoE damage instantly. They have a 3% chance to hit us here. And I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see if their thunder goes off. And we avoided it. They got a couple summons themselves. Okay. Gonna try to hit us with fire now. I kind of want them to hit us so you can see Golem in effect, because unfortunately there is no icon, really no indication that we have Golem in effect. At least not that I'm aware of. If there is and I've just missed it after like 20 years of playing this game, you guys let me know. That does tend to happen sometimes. Ooh, man, you know what? This would have been a map that taking teleport would have been better, because I could just teleport right up there to the mage, and then we could get him. But we also have a katana that can, I could think it can hit him here. There it is. How much damage are we doing? Not a one shot, but close enough. And we another sword. Another katana broke. This is becoming a very pricey battle, or video I should say. I'll make sure to bill you all. Use fire on us. Yeah, it's not gonna hit us. Again, 3%. Not gonna cut it. Not gonna cut it. Get it up close. Let's see. We still have something like Kiku Ichimanji here. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I apologize.
So much
But oof,
done.
that's just a great katana ability there. And this battle's kind of wrapped up. These guys aren't really gonna stand a chance against us, and we're not using anything crazy. But you see, okay, here, Time Mage as well. Another magic, 24% chance. That would have been a lot higher if we didn't have the equipment that we have on. There we go. Yay, Golem, everybody. So we need to take out this Time Mage here. And oh man, we got so many options. Not going to be a one-shot unless we use Kira Jordan there. No, let's not. Actually, yes, let's use that. I have a few of these in the bank now because of a ninja battle we did. Yeah. Really good. This is a build that just gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on because, again, the katanas, you get more access to them. They become easier to farm. So even early on, doing something like Asura here, still going to do a fair bit of damage. And obviously, we have better katanas at this point, but just know that they're still decent damage. Now we can I think we can just finish this off, and that'll be that. Oh yeah, we're really risking it with our Kira Jordans there. But hey, none of them broke. I have to go farm another Masamune there. But other than that, yeah, this build definitely slaps. We got hit once. That's pretty good. Oh, it's the Phobohom Wind Flats, not the Flatlands. I don't know why I got that confused. But anyways, y'all, that is the build. That is the video. Let me know how you guys like to build out your Battle Mage. I use Summoner here again because I feel like, man, I've been kind of like dogged on Summoner a little bit too much or in favor of Black Mage, because Black Mage, their raw stats, a little bit better in my opinion than the Summoner. But Summoner, as far as their summons, those are just amazing. So perfectly works with the Battle Mage here. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Peace and take care.